Alright, hello, welcome to another developer commentary. I am doing this one right after the Simple Sewings one, so I mean, hopefully I'm warmed up at least. This one's ought to be a lot more interesting. I will try and actually talk about what I'm supposed to talk about with this one. Outpost 58. This is my most well-known game. If you want proof, there you go. This was created for a game jam. My friend High Invites at the time, just checking the username. My friend High Invites at the time was like, "Hey, do you want to make a game?" And I said, or like for a game jam, and I just said, "Yeah." This is the only time I've ever worked with someone in a game jam. It was that bad. It wasn't, but I just haven't done it since, really. Yikes! Oh my god. I thought this game was like peak graphics whenever I made it. It's not looking good. I may do a remake of it sometime. Just would be fun, I think. Fun little project. Anyways, way off track. I did this for a game jam. It was a 2-day game jam. This was the hardest I think I've ever worked like intensively on a game, but I'm very proud of how it came out, and I'm glad it went well because I did very well. It got lots of people on YouTube playing it. So many playthroughs. I actually haven't watched all of them. I've watched half of them. I'm very, very cool. This one. This one always is. I don't mean to like be like punched down to another YouTuber. Maybe he has more subscribers than me. I actually don't know. But I always find this video so funny. Maybe it's on purpose. I don't know. But I love that video. Anyways, yeah, Outpost 58. This was my first of what I would call my walking and inspecting simulators. This is kind of what started that style to me, I guess. I don't have much to say. Oh, the game jam. Yeah, I won the game jam because I was only I was the only submission for the game jam. The other one was was like one of those kind of games that just submits to a bunch of game jams, which I don't really care. It's itch.io, who cares? But I won the game jam, so ha ha ha. Again, because I was the only person who entered. I did pretty much all of this game. The only thing I didn't do was the music, which was done by Tying About. The theme was Microscopic Mayhem, and I was just like, so obviously they want me to do like tiny freaking guys, and they're playing fun, colorful games. So I was like, I'm gonna hit them with the Silent Hill running gif. So I took the theme of Microscope very literally, and the gameplay revolves around a microscope. You look through the microscope and you study samples. That's it. Very basic, but for me it's just revolutionary. I'm just gonna download the latest version. I'm not exactly sure what I changed. Maybe is there a changelog? Fixed the typo and added an award thingy to the title screen to indicate our 9 Game of the Year nominations. Added a small circle thing to the reception machine to make it more clear where the samples are arriving from. That's odd. I've never. Oh, it was like a little outline. Yes. Yeah. So it was really just to fix the typo. Let me crack open the files here. But yeah, this is my most successful game by far. No idea why. It just happened. I just got lucky. It has got 6,390 views and 2,181 downloads. 24 ratings, and the average rating is about 5 stars to 4 stars. With one guy who left, I think, a 1-star or like a 2-star review. Yeah, I'm gonna blur out the username because it's just the guy's full email address, but he just left meh. I thought that was really funny. Yeah, I don't have much more to say about that. But yeah, it did pretty well for one of my games. I think to date that is the best performing game I've ever made. and it was my 15 minutes of game development fame. Still outperformed by the Hello Neighbor video, unfortunately. Um, but yes, let me see. So we've got Outpost 58. Oh, actually, we got goodies. We got the goodies folder. Let me just skim through these. It's just development screenshots, including the old name. This game for the longest time was called In the Name of Science. We changed it to Outpost 58 because we were just like, we could just remove that thing at the top and it would look good still. So we just called it Outpost 58. It's very heavily based on the thing, if you couldn't tell. I'm gonna run this now. It's gonna be very loud, so I'll need to adjust the volume. Okay, that seems about right. Yes, this is Outpost 58. Not gonna lie, if I remade this now, it would still be kind of a tough title screen. I'm very happy with the snow effects I did. I think they look very good. They look good because I copied them from a YouTube tutorial, but nonetheless, nonetheless they look fine. Apart from when they hit the floor of it, you only see this in this part. Credits. It's just the credits of the game. You can see the font I used in the music. You can see the font I used in Stranded Among the Stars. Up until Stranded Among the Stars, I had no idea you could import fonts into Unity, or like how you would do that. So like, all of these games have these text things as images and not text, and that's really dumb of me. I think out of the next few games, I think the only one that actually has the real text that it should is Stranded Among the Stars for the typing text part. But like that was pretty late into development when I realized you could do that. So that sucked. You can see the buttons also, because they're not real text. They're cutting off pretty badly. But let's play. It is another day on Outpost 58. You're a researcher. Your job is to analyze any samples sent in. You have a lot of samples today, spelled or like typo on a lot. You are alone. No full stop. Great grammar. Yeah. This is the first of my kind of what would I call it? Like just my I wouldn't say love, but like my affinity. No, you know what? Yeah, love. I love it. My love for environmental design. I really like creating small environments with lots of things in them. As you can see with games like Sheet Metal, that's like kind of where I peaked with that. We got pretty nice lighting. Got a nice view of the outside here. I think it all looks pretty decent for this point in time, anyway. So this is pretty much the first of my post Killer Clowns era. And I'd say it looks pretty good. I think the style has evolved a bit well. Or like, I think the style has evolved well from Killer Clowns. If I could go back and change one thing, I would put a pixelation filter over it. I think it'd look better with that. But I know some people hate that, so. A lot of these models were using the first workflow I ever did for modeling. Which was Blender. I think I would paint it within Blender and then export it to like this old ass program I found on itch.io called like Pixelator or something like that. I'm aware things went down with the creator of Pixelator, especially like with his let's just say his rebranding of the page. I still use the app, and the program is really good, at least, so that's why I continue to use it. If that ever comes up in the future, I guess I don't really care about what the guy thinks, or like what the creator. I don't really care about what the creator of it does, because it's just a good software. But yeah, I still use the program. Maybe we'll move away from it in the future. I'm not sure. For now, I don't really care. I'm just using the program because it's good. But I would export textures from Blender into that program, Pixelator, and then from pixelator to the game. So it's a very primitive art style, as you can see. It's very clearly like painted on in Blender, cartoonishly. But I'd say it works kind of. Yeah, I don't got much more to say. Evacuation plan. Don't try and get any personal items from your cabin. They don't matter and will be replaced. We will not replace any lost items. Head to the nearest exit. If you're locked inside, don't break a window. Help is on the way. Help is not guaranteed. Stay calm. The worst that can happen is a mere fire. There can be worse than a fire. And 4, have fun. Fun not guaranteed. It's very Five Nights at Freddy's-esque, I guess. I do like doing those kind of like comedically evil corporation things, which is again like a lot of what I do now spawned from this game. This is like the root, like origin point of it. I've got a map. I don't know what the point of this was. Guess just world building. We got a picture that I took myself. More of this. Can you? What is the button for interacting with stuff? Because I recall one of the things that I liked most about this game is that you could interact with stuff. There we go. Oh, I like that sound. Bin filled with exclusively soda and soup cans. Important notes board. There's nothing important on it. I forgot that I used to like do that. I should start doing that again. I'm not updating sheet metal with that. I'm trying to get that done as soon as possible, but maybe one day I'll add that back into something. Bin. Notes. My favorite soda. It's also the only one they give me. I hate soup. Fun fact, the soup model was, I think, just because of the way it looks, I think it was originally for Job Well Done. At the same time I was prototyping Job Well Done, like with those devlogs you see on my channel. Or like the old like Job Well Done devlogs. If I recall, this was made using the same kind of, these soup cans were for Job Well Done. Which is why they look the way they do. Whenever that game was still cell shaded. There we go. Whenever that game was still cell shaded, everything kind of looked a lot more cartoony and had flat colors and stuff. Which is why the soup looks like that. Welcome to your new job as insert job name here. Here at Outpost 58, we care deeply about our employees, like you, employee name. Your job here is as follows. Insert job roles. Feel free to look around and interact with your environment. After all, you might be here for a while. I think one thing I do like about this game is the environment is quite good. Some artwork from a video game or something like that. What I meant is that I'm kind of happy with the atmosphere I set. I think it worked quite well. I wouldn't say it's amazing or like good even, but for my standards, it's pretty immersive. Organic researchers' duties: wake up, preferably, get dressed, preferably, grab a sample from the reception room, bring it to the microscope, and it will auto-analyze. Get another sample and repeat until no more samples. Go to bed. Bonus points: eat, drink, don't die, and most importantly, have fun. Please note that you're required to stay in your quarters until the end of the working term due to previous incidents of sample outbreaks. Good luck, MD, Outpost 58 manager. MD was, yeah, it's Milan Dusk, of course it is. It's always Milan Dusk. He always just has to be in something, which is kind of akin to his personality. He just always has to be somewhere and be the center of attention. Yeah, he owns Outpost 58. Lore relevance is like nothing. There's no lower relevance. I just thought it'd be funny. I looked at this earlier, but this is artwork from Behind Invite's little game that he did. If I recall, he was the year above me in my college, so he made this game for the assignment that I had to do the following year for making a 3D platformer about a robot, or like where the main character is a robot. Just a bit of lore, I guess. Bin filled with exclusive students. A picture of a tree. Important notes. This is an unreleased game I did called Spelunka Herbs. I may talk about it one day. Maybe I've brought it up. I think I had it in my recap video that I did for my 2-year anniversary of game development. it was just a cancelled game I did. It was inspired by Gloomwood. Thankfully, I actually did cancel it and didn't try to do like a simple sewings and just try and make it work. I figured that it's just too much work for me to do at that time. I may return it someday, but it wasn't very interesting. It was more just gaining experience for me. Is there a... There's not. Okay. I like how these are labeled, I guess. I don't know why I labeled them like that. Riveting commentary here. I bet you're on the edge of your seat. I labeled these, but I don't know why. Anyways. We got the room. Light switch. That's about it. What happens when I turn off the lights? That. They glow for some reason. I think it's just because I forgot to apply a lighting shader to them. Yeah. This is my dog. This is my cat. Texture reuse from Killer Clowns, as you can see. Do they have... Yeah, a good dog. A good cat. And that's the Killer Clowns poster. I really... Like, Look at this. Look at it. It's still using the Killer Clowns character controller, so it still has all the bugs of getting stuck on walls and moving faster diagonally and glitching around. Look at that. Horrible. They told me to use this radio for contact. The radio doesn't work. Some artwork from a video game. That's the Brown Waters, obviously. Favorite soda. Stuff in the lockers. Bin. We got the bathroom. I don't know why, but I thought I would like have a post game. Like I thought I would update the game to include the bathroom later on. Obviously I didn't. I don't know why I would even do that. It's just the bathroom was closed. The only reason it's closed is just because I ran out of time in the game jam. That's why it doesn't let you through. The bathroom door has been stuck for a while now. You'll have to squeeze through if you want to get in. PS. Please don't outright wreck the bathroom. You won't be able to have it fixed until summer. Yeah, that's about it. That's the only reason you can't go in here. Is in lore, it's just because it's broken. But the reason I made it like that was because I ran out of time. Again, riveting commentary. It repeats the same thing 3 times. We got the... What is this room called? Reception system. So... this room's kind of iron lung-y, I guess, with the pipes, the way they look. The sample, they obviously just send the sample down a chute, comes through here, and this is the circle thing that I was talking about. It would like shoot it down, and you grab a sample. Yeah, amazing. I think we've looked at everything now, so we can start getting to the gameplay. The gameplay in quotation marks. Stick that in there. Seems to be a sample of some frozen bacteria, long extinct now and completely harmless, but still caution is advised. Again, the microscopic mayhem was the theme. Microscope, blah blah blah. I already said that. Got the door here, which is sealed. You're enforced that you're stuck in here until summer or whenever. So really, the rest of the game now is just having. Like grabbing these samples and chucking them under here. Another minor bacteria. It looks to have attacked plants when it was active. Take caution when disposing. Yeah, they're digging up like frozen bacteria and like shipping it off to you to look at it. I think an early idea I had for this game was to have something appear, like standing here in the darkness. Yeah. Didn't get to do that, obviously. Nor do I think it needed to have that happen. I think it's fine on its own. It seems to be a small organism, not currently registered in database. Looks to have been frozen. Could be an important discovery. New bacteria, whoa. I don't know why this game was the one that took off, because it's got the least exciting, like, marketable YouTube gameplay of all of them. Appears to be a sample of some sort of food or vegetable, not in our database. An undiscovered Arctic food, perhaps. That line is kind of stupid, can't lie. I did the sprite work for all of the... What do you call it? The bacteria things. What are they called? Dishes. Samples, that's it. I did the sprite work for all of these. Again, I did everything but the music for this game. And I don't know, I'm pretty happy with how they turned out, especially the ending for you. I think they look pretty good. Seems to be a piece of skin from some sort of earth animal. There's evidence of an infection here, also of unknown origin. What does it mean also? Because the animal is from earth, whatever. Some sort of microscopic worm, not in our database again. Seems related to the previous sample's infection. Go to wee worm. The wiggler. What we got here? Whatever is in the sample is gone now. Yes, that's what was supposed to come out and be the thing that is in the dark here. It was supposed to have like escaped and then it's got loose and which is what, you know, the whole thing of this game is. You're looking through the samples and then one of them's an alien and it gets out. Again, very Thing inspired. Which is my favorite movie. Don't watch many movies, but that's one I like. The Thing, 1982, which takes place on an Arctic and has an alien imitator organism thing outbreak. Something is spreading to the side of the dish, most likely related to sample number 6. That's a reference to dusk, obviously. That's the cult symbol. It seems that this organism is trying to imitate some sort of shape and can change its state of matter into a more flesh-like substance. I'm not trying to like draw connections to dusk. I just did that because I had to think of a shape and it's like, oh, dusk. I do that in a lot of my games. I like dusk. Obviously, it's something that inspired me greatly. Organism is taking on a more organic form. It's got little arms and legs now, like a goober. Oh yes, there's a glitch here. Again, because back then I was using AI to help me code things I didn't know how to code. Don't do that. I keep saying it every time I bring that up. Do not do that. That's bad. Organism seems to be taking the shape, or it seems to be forming the shape of redacted. I'm very bad at reading stuff out loud. And this one's got no text. It's not as scary as I'd probably hoped it to be. But the sprite art on the last one is definitely my favorite. I just think it looks quite cool, especially for my standards in pixel art. Again, this is right after Simple Sewings. So like you can tell there's obviously a step up in art quality between this and between Simple Sewings and this. I'm getting very annoyed at myself. Your duties for the day have been completed. Please take the rest of the night off. Good night, science team. Where's the bed? Your day was very strange. Then again, when has it not been? As you sit on your bed, kick something. As you sit on your bed staring at the old, awful yellow bulb on the ceiling, you wonder if anything will come of what happened here today on Outpost 58. Maybe you should have destroyed what you found. Maybe you just risk all of humanity's survival for a paycheck. It's times like these that make you remember what they told you. It's not your job to worry about it. Now sit down, shut up, and go to sleep and do it all again tomorrow. Don't know what the point of this game was. Like I don't know what that message at the end was. It doesn't really mean anything. I again, this was just more of a return to form for me making games. I think it's a fine game overall. I think it's again. This is definitely where I started to find my footing with what I like and what I don't like when making games. What I am good at and what I'm not good at. Especially environment design, the 3D modeling stuff, and the workflow. Yeah. I, I say this at the end of every video. No, I don't have much to say. I'm gonna close the game now just because the music's distracting me. We can look through the goodies folder. Might be something funny in there. It's just screenshots of me making the Unity scene. Here's the painted thing in Blender. Like I was saying, this is what the texture looked like. Unpixelated before I put it in the pixelation app. We got some lighting tests. We got like blockouts of the finish scene, adding hallways and stuff. This is an early version of the scene. It looks nearly identical. I just don't think it has any posters on it. Early title again. The original title was "In the Name of Science." I guess that ties into the theme of like science going too far in this game, but not really. I never really thought about themes and stuff in my games until very recently. I think I've only made 3 games with like a general theme or like what do you call it? Like a theme that also has like that also plays a role in the design philosophy of the game. Those 3 being the Museum of Digital Memories. The theme of that game is like how art is very important and it can bring joy and it can also help you remember the past. It can help you to be remembered, stuff like that. Very basic. Call of the Deep's theme, which it's coming out soon. I'll put it up soon. I'm just writing the ArtStation page for it. I want to release all of that at once. The Call of the Deep's theme was being under pressure in life, and Sheet Metal's theme is you're gonna have to find out because I haven't finished the game yet. I know what it is, but spoilers, I guess. Anyways, Outpost 58. Yeah, I wouldn't say I love this game. I'm quite fond of it. It definitely kickstarted like my modern way of making games. So I'm just repeating myself at this point. Let's go to the tier list. Outpost 58. I'm gonna give that a solid B. I think for what it is, it's fine. I think some improvements could be made in mostly the visuals. I think they just don't look great. But like for my standards back then, this was mind blowing. This is mind boggling. The PlayStation can produce mind boggling effects. But yeah, I don't have much more to say. I think it's a very fundamental game for me. Like if I hadn't made this, I wouldn't have made a lot of what I've made. I think if I had to talk about something I really liked about the game, just looking back, it would have to be the way the atmosphere is built. I think it's one of the better atmospheres in any of my games. I couldn't tell you why, it just is good for some reason. I think it's the enclosed space combined with the music, the music wasn't me, but still combined with the music and the audio design, especially the audio design. I think I don't like audio design. It's probably my least favorite part, but still I think I did a pretty alright job of it here. The audio design and then the lighting too. One of my favorite things in games at the minute is lighting. If I had to hyper specialize into like any field in game development, it would have to be the lighting. I don't know why, I just enjoy it. So yeah, I think a B is pretty good here. Next, I will not be recording another video today, probably. Next will be Merry Christmas Nobody. I'm very fond of that game, actually. I think I'm not rating these, I'm just kind of putting them in a line here. Out of these three, this trilogy of walking and interacting and reading games, I think Merry Christmas Nobody is my favorite one. I don't know why, I just like it. I would like to do a sequel one day, but my track record with sequels has been bad, to say the least. But yeah, Outpost 58, I appreciate it for what it did. Again, my most popular game. No idea why. For a while I was actually quite scared of the popularity. I didn't like that it was getting so many views and clicks. But it died out eventually, which I guess unlike that Hello Neighbor video I mentioned earlier, which I killed it myself, like by changing the thumbnail to something worse, just because I didn't want people clicking on it anymore. But this isn't the place to talk about that. Yeah, I'm not good at the outros. Go away. Get out.